welcome to the official catch-up. Today I've got Dougie Penman of Penicuik Athletic with me. How are you doing, Dougie?
I'm right, yourself?
Yeah. Oh, it's a nice day today, but unfortunately I can only go out once. I've ruined my chance by going to the shop, so I can't go out.
I've got plans to take the dog out later. That'll do me.
How are you getting through this, Dougie? Everyone's obviously doing different things, but what about yourself?
I'm still working away. I'm classed as a key worker, so that's keeping us going. Got a day off today, so can't complain too much.
Yeah, and obviously we kind of discussed before we came on, but obviously it's Saturday. Everyone's going to be missing the football. I'm missing my wee travel to New Central Park if Kelty were at home, and because I tend to walk the back road from Cowdenbeath to Kelty just for a wee bit of exercise. I'm missing that sort of aspect of it as well. I'm missing everything about the football basically.
I've been up at Penicuik Park for a few hours already myself, getting printers ready, cameras charged, set up, everything good to go.
Yeah,
this would be the time I've been running around panicking, making sure that all the batteries are ready.
And just a wee bit about yourself, just in case people are unaware, Dougie. You've been at Penicuik for 9 years now. Is it 9 years, Dougie?
Sported them since we came back in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Joined the committee 8 years ago now. Done Penicuik Athletic TV since then, but ran the social media side of it for about a year before that as well.
Brilliant. How hard it is? I mean, I know how hard it is, obviously, running a club's Twitter because I do Kelty on match day, but has it got any harder, obviously, over the years because people are expecting, like say graphics and video quality and all that sort of thing?
It has. I always go back to the very first tweet I ever sent off the account was, I think every single word was a hashtag because I had absolutely no idea how Twitter worked. But it's got on, it's sort of evolved over the years. When I first started, it was very much factual, here's the goal, that's it. And then once we added in the footage, and over time we've started to become a wee bit more laid back, try and be a wee bit more jokey, try and just interact with people more rather than just being official, if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah. Certainly a few of my tweets have made the old firm facts the past season and before. So yeah. I think that's the thing nowadays. Twitter's, especially football Twitters, need to have a wee bit of personality, and it's sometimes down to the people running them. Obviously, you can't go overboard with that, but it is a tough job sometimes. I know I'm maybe writing down a sub or something, and I miss a goal or I miss something. That's happened to me a fair bit because my head's down on the laptop trying to tweet something out.
I know the feeling of nothing worse when you're filming the game in one hand, got the phone in the other, trying to tweet something, find a graphic to get out there, and then many times you tweet the wrong one and panic and delete it and re-upload it in about 30 seconds and people didn't notice it. Yeah,
it's very tough. In terms of Penicuik, like I've often said, I've not been down to Penicuik as much as I would like because obviously I'm at the Lowland League most weeks, and but yeah, I'm definitely, after all this, I'm definitely going to get down to Penicuik. It's a team I really admire. I like what CRSL do. I like a few of the players, as I mentioned. I'll probably get Grinchy on a wee bit later. I'll probably reach out to the gaffer and that, and I think it's just a well-run club. And this season, obviously, these guys have done fantastically well in the likes of the Scottish Cup, for example. That win over Stenhousemuir, and you were so unlucky against Partick. The fans, the travelling fans to Partick and the home fans against Stenhousemuir. It was fantastic, really, to see from a club like Penicuik.
Oh, it's probably some of the best times I've had since I joined the club. Even though we lost against Partick, to be on the pitch at full time and when I was filming and see the ovation the players got for the supporters is something that'll stay with me till I'm a very old man, hopefully. But it's the Scottish Cup. It was always going to sort of prove, the first year back in it for about 80 odd years, it was going to be the pinnacle of this season for us. And it obviously had the disappointment with Steny, the first game, the first chance at it being off due to the weather, and then going again the week after, and to win 3-0 and put the performance we did in was just magnificent for us. And we also had in obviously the Cumbernauld game in the first round, and even East for the season, Whitehill in the prelims. It was a brilliant time to be a Penicuik fan.
Yeah, are you a wee bit worried this season? Obviously, what would it mean if, like, say, everything was null and void? I don't know too much in terms of the Scottish Cup. If that all them results will be null and void, does that sort of tarnish the memories if that was to happen?
No, I don't think so. I think you'll always have the memories, and I'm working on stuff as well. I've still got footage that I'm working on for that day. Hopefully that'll give me some content to get up. But those memories will live with everybody, and I think even regardless of what happens, they'll stay with you.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, as I mentioned, mate, I really admire Penicuik, and I remember you saying to me, obviously, you're trying to do a Penicuik Athletic podcast. We might wait and see till next season, but I'll I'll try and jump in with you, Dougie, because Caledonian Braves have started their own one through this, so, and I'm speaking to loads more people because everyone's obviously got a bit of free time at the moment, so yeah, it's excellent.
I'd done the podcast, maybe 2013. I think I gave it a go, and it was me myself reading off a script into a laptop. And I look back now, and it's absolutely horrendous to listen to. I think I've managed to delete all remnants of it off the internet, not through lack of trying.
But no, that's the thing. I mean, when we first started this, I was kind of fortunate because I had done YouTube before, so I kind of, I was all right with speaking to basically a screen or whatever you want to say. So I had the year of YouTube to be all right at becoming to speak and whatnot. So, but yeah, the more you do something, the more you get better at it. Yeah, like everything else, I guess.
It's always a learning curve.
Yep. In terms of Penicuik, I was actually expecting you to be, I think he's seventh currently. I don't know if that's matters at the moment. Obviously, if football is going to continue, but you had a fantastic season in the East of Scotland last season. You were very unlucky, obviously, but fair credit to Broxburn and Bonnyrigg, two tough teams, and obviously that's not changed this season. You've got Bo'ness, Hillabeef, Trinent. East of Scotland, obviously you've mentioned how long you've been associated with Penicuik. Have you seen, obviously, the rise in quality and ambition from a lot of these clubs?
Oh, it's undoubtedly. It's even last year we saw it in the conferences that there was teams that we'd never played before or hadn't played in a long time, and seeing the changes that were happening around their grounds and amongst their playing staff as well. It was nice to see that the league strengthening, and then we knew this year coming into the Premier and the restructuring that you're going back to almost the old Super League in a lot of way people's minds. But even then, I think the standard in terms of teams and how good the teams are, I think it's actually probably better than it was then, personally. Everybody's more on even keel. Anyone can beat anybody. So it's brilliant to be in. Probably disappointing where we are in the league at the moment. Like you say, it might not matter in the long term, but it's one of these things. We've progressed pretty much for the last few seasons, so if we have a year where we stagnate ever so slightly, then I think the Scottish Cup's been the key thing this year, the improvement there, so we'll take that. Yeah,
definitely, Dougie, and it's, the thing about the Scottish Cup, we had teams breaking records last season for Lowland League. I'm not so much sure about East of Scotland, but teams getting to the third round for the first time, and similar this season, obviously BSC against Hibs. It's becoming, well, for me that follows sort of non-league football, maybe not so much for people that are following Premiership teams, but it's not a surprise to me that a lot of East of Scotland teams and Lowland League teams are getting as far as they have in the Scottish Cup, and I'm sure it will continue into next season.
I think the quality at this level is really underrated. Certainly it's value for money. I'd rather pay £6 to watch our games and £30 at some other places, and you still can't beat the live experience instead of watching it on telly.
Absolutely not, and I think it's been spoken about, but you get a bit more banter. If say I was away to one of the Premiership games, you're obviously stuck in amongst your own fans. I think it's good to have that wee sort of back and forth sometimes with other fans, and obviously getting to chat and hear their views, albeit you might disagree with them sometimes.
Oh, I've had a few arguments down the years, but I think that's the big thing now as well. We know football is you're missing that interaction on a Saturday and seeing all the people, and even being in the committee room and taking my weekly slagging is something I'm missing.
Absolutely, and in terms of Penicuik, obviously, the talk before obviously this happened was the West of Scotland League. Are you got any thoughts on the obviously the likes of probably Talbot, Pollock and these sort of teams. We're not actually sure, obviously, what's going to happen and if there's going to be a cup competition between the East of Scotland or West of Scotland or even the Lowland League. But are you looking forward to the introductions for some of the West teams coming out?
Aye, certainly more the merrier. We've had some good meetings over the last sort of decade with, like, say, Talbot, Pollock, Kilburney, Kirky, Rob Roy. We've had some great meetings with them, and the quality in the East is matched in the West. And I suppose historically you could argue the West was maybe a little bit better, but I think the gap's closed a wee bit now. And I certainly look forward to if there's a cup competition between the two regions, and obviously add the South in as well. It's going to be something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And as I said, Penicuik are obviously I don't know what it is. There's something, I can see it. Obviously, I follow quite a lot of clubs and stuff, and I see it from Lowland League to East of Scotland. But for me, there's something a wee bit special about Penicuik, and I really can't put my finger on it. I can't wait to hopefully see us next season. I'm definitely going to make a point to come and see us because, Cookie family and all that sort of stuff. I think it's great what you guys do. At the club, and the players are always approachable. I don't think I've ever, guys like Grinchy and stuff like that, I've always got on way before he was at Penicuik, in fairness. But Sean Stewart, guys like that, and obviously the gaffer and Kev as well. So what does sort of Penicuik mean to you, mate? Is it, I'm trying to just do my best to describe describe people about Penicuik, but for me it is a special club, and I don't like putting other clubs on pedestals, obviously, because you don't want to be biased and stuff, but I always try and look out for your guys' results and stuff like that, and I always hope you do well.
It's nice to hear those words. Like for me, like I've always said, that like Cookie family isn't just a hashtag, it's a feeling we've all got about the club. And I know certainly that we had our time where we were out the game for so long and coming back, and I think especially maybe for the older generation, there's that feeling of they missed it for so long. And I'm getting a wee sort of taste of that now when having no football. I can sort of understand their feelings, and it's part of your life. I'm lucky enough I've moved to Penicuik recently, and for the first time in a long time, and being here and being part of the town again, it's fantastic. And there's something, just like you say, it's just something intangible. And I think it's not just Penicuik. I think every club will have that feeling themselves, and your club's always the most important one to you. And I think it's just the feeling that you get for your club, and it's about we're maybe just lucky that we can show that in a way that some other clubs maybe can't at this moment in time. But I imagine everybody feels the same way about their club.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. What do you think should happen? I know I've asked everyone this, and it probably doesn't affect Penicuik in terms of league position. I should say it wouldn't affect Penicuik in terms of league position as such. But what do you think should happen with football if it can continue?
Well, obviously, the first option is we'd love to finish the season. I think everybody deserves the opportunity to play out the rest of this season and let it come to a natural conclusion. But if that's not possible, then I think there needs to be a serious discussion with it. I know there's been the stuff in England recently with them sort of null and voiding the lower leagues down there, and I think that's something we don't really want to happen up here. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I know for a fact if I was Bowness or Hillybeef or Trinent sitting at the top of the league fighting for promotion, I think they'd feel hard done by if they didn't get the opportunity to pursue that properly.
Yeah. I think most people that I've spoke to, I think, would like to continue, even if it would be 3-4 games a week, which would seem a bit mad. But like if it's up to the players and the management if they're wanting to do that, and that's the best option, then nothing against that. I just don't see, we're in isolation for 3 weeks. I think that's going to get extended further, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to keep doing these to keep people entertained, and guys like yourself, Dougie, I really appreciate you coming on, because it's this is why we're doing these, so people can listen in and not feel and get a bit of normal chat, as I've mentioned, obviously a normal football chat, keep ourselves going mentally and to pass the time.
Like I said to you yesterday, I've listened to the podcast now for about a year and a half since we moved over, and it's something I look forward to every week, seeing it pop up on my feed, and it's something that gets me through a shift at work. So it's massively appreciated what you guys do, and the promotion you do, not just for the Lowland League, but adding the East of Scotland in now is fantastic, and we'll make it continue.
Yeah, and as I kind of mentioned before, but there's teams struggling at the moment, obviously not getting the people through the gates because obviously no one can. Are Penicuik doing anything at the moment to try and reach out to fans to get some a wee bit extra funding?
We've had discussions ourselves, and we're at the moment in a position to meet all our financial commitments for the rest of this current season, as however long that goes. And until I think such time as that changes, we're sort of happy where we are at this moment in time. We've had some great support of the supporters over the years, so we understand how much it means to everybody just now that they're all in their own wee worlds, and we've all got our own problems. So we'd rather we try and deal with ours at this moment in time and let our supporters come together, and look forward to hopefully seeing them back at Penicuik in the near future. Just keep up the good work.
Cheers for coming on, Dougie. I really appreciate it, mate. And as I say, I'm looking forward to speaking to Grinchy a wee bit later. I'll reach out to a few other sort of Penicuik boys, hopefully like Sean Stewart and stuff, and I'll try and speak to the gaffer as well. But I'm sure we'll have time to fit everyone in over the next few weeks. But yeah, guys like yourself, Dougie, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us a wee bit insight into the work you do at Penicuik. I know it's having done it myself, you know, with like Kelly, it's I know it's not always easy, especially when you miss things on match day. I'm totally bad for that. I miss goals, I miss subs, I miss a lot. It can be a lot of work if we don't have the luxury of replays, unfortunately, at this level.
I miss quite a lot. Even I'm part of the East Scottish Cup, managing Penicuik and that. And
oh yeah.
I still managed to butcher what happened in our game against Cumbernauld in that the own goal was a Tansy cross, not Summy heading it in at the front post, and it wasn't a Pagey free kick for the third. It was a Kieran Watson one, and that was with replays and sitting in front of me on the laptop. So mistakes will always be made. I'm enjoying
it. Do you know who you've got next in the East Scottish Cup?
No, I think the draw's tomorrow, so we'll be waiting eagerly for that.
Yeah, I actually put my name in the hat for it, but unfortunately I never got a team. But the response was really good for it. But I play in the FM Premier League. I'm the manager in Norwich, so I'm well versed in competitive FM play. And I was a wee bit gutted I never got the team in the Scottish Cup, because I think I would have went far no matter who it was. I'm a seasoned pro competitively on FM myself. So if you need any tips of that, just let me know, pal.
I think I'll be hitting you up for a few players on loan, maybe.
Brilliant, mate. As I said, it's good luck in the East Scottish Cup, and hoping football's back as soon as possible, mate. And you're welcome anytime, mate, and speak soon. And hopefully I'll see you at Penicuik as soon as possible.
Aye, thank you. It's been a pleasure. And if you make it through Penicuik, make sure you introduce yourself and we'll look after you.